Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who are joining us face to face, you will need your laptops or your phones. You're welcome to join in. This will be an interactive session for the next 30 minutes. So I am going to place on the screen a link for you to visit. Just one skinny little moment.
Don't forget my cord.
Okay, today's presentation will talk about Google and some other tools that we can use for writing and for publication. So first things first, we always start, I'm a classroom teacher by trade, so we always start with an objective. So our time will be well spent today. By the time we part ways, all of us should be able to identify at least one new online tool that we can use to assist us in the writing and or the publication process. On your phone or on your laptop, your tablet, if you will, please go to the link that's there at the bottom, cut.ly/writing tools. cut.ly/writing tools. Once you navigate, for those of you who are going to play with us this afternoon, once you navigate to that site, can someone tell me what you see? I want to make sure we're all in the same place.
PVAMU CTE.
And is that a Padlet?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
We got Padlet? Awesome, awesome. All right. Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Huss. Okay, so we're going to start moving forward. If you get stuck or you need help, just stop me and we will make sure everybody stays together. First things first. One of the things that comes to mind when we think about writing, if you all will indulge me 2 minutes, I want to share with you the train of thought in putting together some of these websites. And with the writing process, you know, there's a difference between divergent, lateral, and convergent thinking. So when we're thinking about writing, sometimes, just like when I was teaching writing, students would try to attack the writing process from a convergent thinking approach. They would try to approach it, you know, linearly, and they would get stuck because they're trying to put together an outline, but they don't have a clue in terms of what is this going to be about? What's the feel? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want my readers to walk away with? So we would encourage them, start from the top, start big, start with the divergent thinking, use your imagination and generate as many ideas, just brainstorm, go for it, squeeze that brain like a lemon. So some of the tools that I'm going to show you today are designed to help with the divergent thinking that's involved with the writing process. And there are other tools that I'm going to share with you all today that are more associated with the convergent thinking side of this process or part of this process when it comes to putting our outlines together or organizing all of those wonderful thoughts that we brainstorm. How do we categorize them? How do we put them into an order that's going to make the most sense for our reader? And then we know that lateral thinking means we are using both. We're coming up with a new way to approach a problem in our writing, using our research to find a new way to solve a longstanding or a recent issue. So the first tool that I'd like to share with you all is called Millinote. Has anyone ever heard of this particular website? No? Okay. Millinote has fast become one of my favorites. I am so excited about being able to use this for a number of projects. In that Padlet that you clicked on, will you please click on the card that says Millinote? You should be taken directly to the website or the the board that I shared in Millinote. I'll navigate to the website in just a quick moment. With Millinote, this is a brainstorming and a planning space. It includes very detailed templates for those of you who are writing fiction works, or you're thinking, I have a book in me, but one of the books that I have in me is fiction. I want to tell someone's story. I want to do a narrative. This tool includes very detailed templates for fiction work. It also includes some very detailed templates for project management. Let's say you're doing a screenplay for a movie. This tool will also assist you with planning and thinking about and building these worlds that are necessary for us to create a work that stands the test of time. You can modify these templates for research or grant planning. This particular tool is Mac and PC compatible. For Mac, you can download to Pages PC, you can download to Word, you can also use PDF. Now, the free plan, y'all know I like free. For those of you who've ever been with me for any workshop or conversation, I like free all day, every day. So the free plan includes 100 notes, images, or links. Now, you might be thinking, that's a lot. It's not. It's not once you get started. I've been playing around with this tool, and the more you do, the more exciting it gets because you start to build and it grows and it grows. So there are ways that you can increase the number of cards that you are allowed. Cards include notes, the images, or links that you might post, and I'll share that with you in just a few seconds. You get 10 file uploads with the free plan, and you can do an unlimited share of boards. You can make as many boards as you want, as long as you don't go over the 100 notes, images, or links. Now, with this free plan, there's a way for you to double the number of cards you have. For example, there are enough of us in this session today, in person and online, for everybody to kind of go around and team up and say, I'm going to share with you, you share with them, and it'll be like one of those phone trees. You get 20 extra cards up to 100, so that means you share with 5 people. For each friend you refer who signs up for an account, to sign up for an account is free. So if you get 5 other people to sign up, and then they can go get 5 people, everybody can double their cards to 100 for free, still free. And the paid plan is actually only $12.50 a month. So if you use this tool and you decide that, you know what, I really like what this has to offer, I would say the $12.50 a month is going to be worth it. God bless you. Because you get unlimited notes, images, links, and file uploads for $12.50 a month. And of course, you get storage for the life of your account. So what I am going to do now is navigate over to Millinote. Let me stop sharing, and then I'll reshare in just a moment for those of you who are in Zoom. Well, there we are. Sorry, it got away from me. Okay, so in Millinote, you can see that, for example, I have a test board. And if we click on that, we have some options. I chose this one as if I were planning to write a narrative. So here, you see I have a blank spot where I can put my plot. I can write Here I can put a photo, I can do a video clip in Millinote, and then down here at the bottom, I could start typing a summary of what I want the plot to be. The story outline works the same way, as well as the characters and the location for this particular story. What I want to show you is I'm going to click on home again, and I'll create a board so you can see what some of these templates look like. So you take the icon, you drag it to your workspace, and I'll double click on new board, and you see right down here at the bottom where I can choose a template. If I click here, there are more templates. I'm going to scroll down to the writing ones. Here are some writing templates here at the bottom, but as you can see, there are mood boards on here for those of you who are clicking and playing around in this website. There are project management boards, story planning boards. So what if we were to do, let's click on world building. For example, let's say you're doing a story or a movie and you want to create this fictitious world, or let's say you're doing research. This is a great tool for organizing ideas. Think outside of the box about how you might use this to assist you when you're trying to brainstorm or figure out, what do I want this particular book or this particular work to look like? If I choose this template, I want to click this. If I like what I see and I want a guide, I'll click keep the example content and I'll click use this template. And then now everything stays. So now I have something that I can work with. It's no longer just a blank slate. Anybody have any comments, ideas, questions? Is anybody thinking they might give this a try? Maybe have a couple who are thinking, okay, maybe. It looks like a lot, but once you get in and you start playing and you click and you begin to use some of these tools, it's not as cumbersome as it may first appear, just because they have a lot of photos. We can start in Millinote, you can start with a blank board and just go from there and start brainstorming and mapping things out. Okay, Dr. Selden, I see you. You're welcome to unmute, and I see you have a question.
Actually, it wasn't a question. It's something my son and I are working on some screenplay projects. So this would be something that we could use because he's exactly at the point of building world building and doing timelines and stuff like this for the screenplay. So this would be excellent.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so excited to hear that you all are going to try this. That's what I was thinking about when I was playing around with this tool. How awesome would it be to be able to see everything in front of you? It's not trapped in a spreadsheet or a Word document. You can create as far and as wide as your imagination will carry you. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Selden. That's awesome. Let's go back and take another look at another tool that we can use. Next to Millinote, there is another tool that is called Evernote, okay? Now, this is just a quick overview of some of these items. How many of you have heard of or have used Evernote? Okay, several of us. Okay, for those of us who haven't tried it, maybe we've heard of it, Evernote is a great tool. Those of you who raised your hands, can you tell us a couple of things that you really like about using Evernote?
You have an add-on in Chrome, and you can basically grab web pages or images or other documents.
Right.
And it goes into a folder for you.
And that's so awesome to be able to just grab it and stick it someplace and not have to remember what file that I have open or, yeah, those Evernote add-ins are the best.
Text or both?
Both, absolutely.
Can you demo that?
The Evernote app?
Yeah.
Yes. You can download Evernote. It's one of those nice tools that you can get everywhere. You can do the web-based version. You can download the app on your computer. Like I have a MacBook, so I can go to the App Store and download the Evernote app on my desktop, on my computer. You can download it on your cell phone, whether you're an Apple, you have iOS, or you're an Android user. Sorry, Android is misspelled. Android user. you can actually use the tool everywhere, which is really nice. That means that you don't have to stop and try to transfer something you saw, an article, an idea. If you were somewhere and someone mentioned a book, you can open up your Evernote app, type it, and it syncs across the devices where you have Evernote loaded. Now, I will say this, for the free version of Evernote, you have a max number of devices at 2. You can only sync to 2 devices at a time. But if you do the paid version, of course, that expands to the number of devices to which you can download. With Evernote, you can jot down notes on the go. You can save articles to be referenced or read. It's mobile friendly, but like Dr. Mitchell said, you can organize your thoughts, and you can use voice recording on Evernote, which I really like. Especially if you open up the app, you click on the link, click on the mic. Okay, click on the mic, and you can definitely use this as a voice recording. All right.
Okay.
Also with the collaborative version of Evernote, you can create shared accounts. So if you are working with a team on your writing, you can do a shared account, and you all can all use the same account to go in and organize your ideas, make corrections, add things to a team folder, right?
Does it do speech to text?
Yes. So if you, for example, and that's a good question about speech to text. If you are on your phone, let's say you have the app on your phone, like with my iPhone, the same tool that I use to do speech to text in my notes or in my text messages, I can use in Evernote as well. So I can open up, that's the nice thing about having the app. It will use the same functions as my phone. So that's the best part. I don't have to do a separate voice recording or do something in my notes and then try to remember that I did it in my phone and try to copy it and paste it someplace else. Okay. In the interest of time, I won't open up Evernote since several of us have seen it, and using Evernote is very intuitive. Once you get in, you just create a document just like you would using the notes function on your phone or Word document. What I do want to do though is take a minute and do Google Drive. How many of you make use of Google Drive on a regular basis? Okay, good stuff. Tell me why you like Google Drive.
You see the responses all at the same time. That's neat.
Yes, that's the best part. We can all get in there together. Anybody else, why do you like using Google Drive?
You can access it from anywhere, including your phone.
Exactly.
Anywhere.
App, web-based, you can use that anywhere. Anybody else?
I like the Google Keep, which is kind of like Evernote.
Yes.
And I like it because it also syncs across all of your devices.
Yes, Google Keep is wonderful. Now, who thought of that, but outstanding tool.
Yeah, just the collaborative work. I've been able to do presentations with Google Slides, which is their version of PowerPoint.
Right.
And as an interactive way of like interacting with my participants, I have them write on the slides. And so we give them the link, and that's the thing, especially in the virtual settings, there's lots of different avenues to having like very interactive learning experiences just within that whole platform.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. Google has saved so many presentations this past year because of what you just said, Dr. Jenkins. We can go in and share, write. It's almost like we're in the same room together and we can see what other groups are doing. I was in a presentation a few weeks ago, and the presenter did something I had not seen before, which I am going to borrow and use from now on. She pre-designed a set of PowerPoint presentations, and she knew she was going to have a large audience. So she decided to give each group by last name a different task. So there was a PowerPoint presentation with a set of questions. If you were last name A through, let's say, F or something like that, and then you would go to a particular place and you open your folder in her Google Drive account. And then if you were, P through Z, you click on something else. But each of those groups had a different assignment. So it made for a much more interesting debrief after the activity was over, because we weren't in breakout rooms together, which are great, but we do those a lot. It added some variety. And so everybody was working on a different task. So we had something else to share, but I really like the way she set that up. Everything was in her drive. And so you just clicked on the PowerPoint that corresponded with the first letter of your last name, and there were your assignments. And you knew what to work on for the next 17 minutes. And then you knew to report back to the whole group, and nobody ever had to go to a breakout room, get lost, get dropped, get in there and get stuck, couldn't get out, that kind of thing. So I agree. Google Drive is definitely a game changer. Google Docs, I will click on this. I know many of us in this room have used Google Docs, but I want to, just for a moment, have a quick activity that will allow us to share, collaborate, and maybe look at a few features we might not have known were in Google Docs. So in your Padlet, will you click on that Google Docs link, please? So everybody should see this screen when you click on your link in Google Docs. Is everybody there? Okay. I won't say a word for the next 10 seconds while everybody jumps in, and you can begin as soon as you are able to access the document.
Sorry, how did we get here?
Oh, okay. If you will go to, let me go back right quick. This website right here, cutt.ly/writing tools, that will take you to that Padlet. And there should be a tile for Google Docs in there. You're welcome. I figured since we were doing this presentation after lunch, it was safe to talk about food. I wouldn't do this before lunch because, why make us angry? But we've all eaten. So you'll type in your favorite dessert. Now, while you're in the Google document, I do want to share with you this portion. How many of you all have used add-ons in your Google Suite, your Google Docs before? Okay, a couple of us have used some add-ons. For those of you who haven't tried add-ons, I'm going to encourage you, take a tour through Google to look at some of the add-ons that are available. The add-ons are designed not just to advertise these third-party apps, but a lot of these add-ons are actually quite useful. And when you tie them into your Google Doc, it increases the functionality of the document and what you can do with other people. Beyond just word processing and editing, there are a lot of things that you can access, many of which are free. Some of them are free and unlimited. Some of them are free up to a certain threshold. But there are many add-ons in this Google Marketplace that you can use. For example, there's one called Math Type, there's Lucid Chart, Doc2Form, EasyBib. I encourage you to browse your add-ons.
What are your top three that you recommend that if you had to recommend a few of them, what jumps out at you?
One of the first ones I would recommend is probably Small PDF, because not everybody works on a MacBook. MacBooks have this, native feature where you can go in and annotate PDFs if you do a markup, and you can insert your signature, but not everybody lives in a Mac world. So I like Small PDF. Small PDF does have limits. The free version, I think it lets you edit maybe 3 a day or annotate 3 PDFs a day. My children used Small PDF the entire time they were in virtual school for their school district. I liked it so much, I ended up paying the fee, like per month, a small fee, because it does such a good job of allowing them to go in and add to their PDFs that their teachers would post in Canvas. So that's probably my top favorite. A couple of the other ones are, one of the ones that's in here, like math type, some of those, any of the ones that allow you to do equations and things like that are nice, just because they help when you are doing like a math course or a science class or stats class or any of the STEM courses when you might need a boost when you're writing equations, so it's not as cumbersome of a task to space and tab and move over. Google has a feature where you can insert mathematical symbols, but it is cumbersome because you need to insert a special character and then go look for it. So those are at the top. There are several others. Let me see, Dr. Tanner. One of, it's a toss-up, but I do like Dropbox. There are several others in here, and what I'll do is I have with this Padlet, I'll add the list of the other ones that I like, because there are quite a few, but Dropbox, the box for Google Work, is another one that I do like because it's easy to use. And it makes sharing your documents and storing and getting other people to upload things a little bit easier. I've seen several other companies and groups use Box over the past year to go in and have people upload documents. That way it doesn't get lost in email, because not everybody works at our institution and uses Simplicity.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for asking. Okay. There's a rumbling about Simplicity. I hear it.
To OneDrive.
When?
Well, you have to move your stuff.
You have to move your stuff over.
Why did they not tell us that? Yeah, that's, no.
They only like fail at one time, but
Yeah, they said
Simplicity
it
isn't really working as well as it used to.
That's for sure, but I got it now.
But I have everything in there.
I'm sorry, Shayla, but that's.
No, that's important. We're talking about tools, and this is where many of us have stored our research, our work.
Sacks.
All of it is in there.
When you come to the Northwest, you find out extra. Be a stranger.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You don't have.
I get frequent flyer miles.
Also, welcome anytime.
Okay. Now that we're all breaking out into a cold sweat about Simplicity and the fact that everybody is going to be working feverishly, like, okay, where do I move all of these documents? Because I think we've all gotten very comfortable with Simplicity and just click, 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 and it's all there. Because that was news to me. I didn't know either. Now I'm nervous because almost nothing is saved on my laptop. It's all in Simplicity. The last tool that I want to share with you all is it's one of those tools that is like lateral thinking. It's an outside of the box approach to writing. How many of you get very distracted when you finally carve out some time to sit down and write? Anybody get distracted? Okay, it could be internal. Like I tell my kids, we have internal distractions and we have external distractions, all right? So Ohmrider, has anybody ever heard of Ohmrider? No? Ohmrider is a very simple tool. It's open source, which is nice, and that keeps the price low. To download the software, it's $8.77. It's one-time fee. You don't pay a monthly. And that's the price of the software, $8.77. All of those wonderfully altruistic software developers out there who make open source software. So came up with this. There are two versions of this. You can do the web app, which I'm going to show you today. It is free. The only limitation is that you can't download, you just copy and paste whatever you write into your Word document. And the app that you can download Of course, you can go in, type, save, do whatever you need to do. And it's just conveniently located on your computer. You can work off or online. It's a focused, reduced distraction writing space. And I'll show you how this works. Let's see if I can get the sound to work as well. Let me stop share for just a moment for those of you who are in Zoom, and I will reshare with my sound. Okay. All right, with Ohmrider.
OneDrive.
Okay, with Ohmrider, we'll do an experience test. And I'll share my sound. I don't know if you all can hear. There it is. Now, with Ohmrider, I don't know if you can hear this. There's more, and it's not playing right now for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let's try it again, because that's the best part of this tool. There we are. I don't know if you can see what I'm typing, but Ohmrider provides this music in the background. I know it sounds, like, what is going on? But I tried it, and this tool opens in full screen. So if you're one of the folks like me, who is very easily distracted, and sometimes it's difficult to sit down in front of the same tool that I might use to work on, and use Microsoft Word, sometimes that can be, here we are. Sometimes for those of us who are easily distracted, it can be calming and soothing even to write in a space where it doesn't look like Word, it doesn't look like work. It looks like fun. It looks like something calming. Like I'm just getting my ideas out. Remember we talked about convergent versus the divergent thinking? This is more of one of those divergent thinking type of tools. Something outside of the box to get you to write. Let's say you're having writer's block. You're in a difficult piece and you just need to brainstorm. You just need to get some ideas out. This is a quirky tool, but it's in that space where it's just different. It's different and I like it. Like I said, I tried it. I enjoyed the experience. The music I thought was going to annoy me after a while. It didn't. It was nice not having ads like I get when I'm listening to Spotify or Pandora. And it was just like spa music and it was very calming. I didn't have to use a third app to get the music to play like I normally do when I'm trying to focus and sit down and start working. Everything was right there in this space. And like I said, this part is free if you use it on the web. You type, if you're just trying to get some ideas out, you're struggling with a difficult paragraph or a difficult portion of what you're working on, you finish, copy, paste. And sometimes it's just like we do with our students, a free writing space. If you just need to get the creative juices flowing and get some things on the screen. Does anybody have any questions? Comments, concerns? I'm gonna check the chat as well.
That music is, I just go to YouTube when I'm working on stuff and I just put in focused music and you get, 3-4 hours of this stuff. And sure enough, I don't know how it does it,
It works, doesn't it?
Keeps me on task. It's very calm.
Very calming. And I think that's what someone was thinking at Ohmrider, that why not put everything in one place? Because for those of us who are easily distracted, I open a tab and you put me on YouTube, I might go down a rabbit hole. Before I know it, I'm watching baking videos on how to make brownies or something crazy. Or watching, cats.
You don't know about life.
Watching cats roll yarn across the floor, like that's so relaxing. And I'm supposed to be writing. So this is one of those, like I said, quirky tools that kind of puts all of that experience. You see the calm, tone of the background all in one place. For those of you who want to give that a try. Any questions, comments? That's a good idea.
Because that was one thing we have been doing with the center Wednesdays at noon for an hour, just dropping the writer. And we play music, but we have had some interruptions, so maybe.
Try one of these.
I think for me, it's the music and the clicks.
Yeah, wasn't that neat?
You have adult ADHD, that helps.
I'm just saying. That's why I was typing and I didn't want to talk so you all could hear that sound. It's almost like it's not as aggressive as a typewriter, but it's somebody did some research and really took their time in figuring out the right sound, because there are two different experiences you can have in Ohmrider. And then there are also Ohm bits, and if you want to check that out as well. Not in this version. If you use the free version that's on the website, it will not save. You have to copy and paste it into your Google document, your Microsoft Word document on your own. That's the only caveat to the free web-based version.
And you said there was an app also?
Yes, Dr. Selden, there is an app. In your app store, you can just type in, actually, you don't have to go to the app store. You can download right from the website. And the price is $8 and I think 77 cents. They take donations.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but they do it. When you go to their page for pricing, it's based on donations and they do like a market value. So they believe the app is worth $8.77.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you all for your time. I will turn it over.